Fair play, Guadalajara. Fair play to you guys. You guys, wow. You guys definitely surprised me, man. You guys definitely surprised me. You guys stepped up for the occasion today. You guys fought your asses off to try and get something from this match. Made it difficult for Barcelona to the point we were thinking, are we really going to get a loss against a third division team? Is this really going to happen? But, man, fair play to you guys, bro. You guys fought well. But unfortunately for you guys were going up against one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team in the world, with some of the best players in the world. So it was pretty obvious that Barcelona were going to get the dub today. But besides that, fair play. I put my hands up. I thought we were going into this game just to slap you guys up silly. A little 5-0, 6-0 win. But no, you guys no, and put up a fight today, man. So I commend you guys for that. I commend your fans. Were incredible today. They were roaring throughout the whole 90 minutes. And man, this is why we love football. This is why we love these kind of competitions like the Copa del Rey, like the biggest one of them all, the World Cup. Anyone that tries to downplay these competitions, especially after Messi won the World Cup, are complete idiots. They don't know ball. Because these are the moments where smaller teams, unknown players get the opportunity to showcase themselves. To showcase themselves to the world, because everyone's going to tune in to watch FC Barcelona. They don't really care about the team they're going up against. They're focused on the other team, the main team, right? But then they get the opportunity to watch these other players and, if they perform, maybe change their lives and get a move that they've been dreaming of. You know, these players have been working their lives to get to the point that they are. So getting the opportunity to go up against one of the best teams in the world, one of the biggest teams in the world, is a huge opportunity for them. That's why before the matches, when they make the draws to see who's going to play who, these smaller teams, when they go and draw to Real Madrid or Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, they celebrate like crazy. Why? Not because they're fans of the clubs, but because they got the opportunity to showcase themselves, to, again, potentially change their lives. And, of course, get the dub for the team that they're playing, the respective team that they're playing for. So, well fought out game from Guadalajara. I thought they did great today. Definitely made it difficult for us. I wouldn't say it was the best performance from Barcelona. I'm not too upset about that. I really don't mind that. I guess not a lot of our players stepped up, or in general, it wasn't the most beautiful game from Barcelona. The most important thing was getting the dubs. Now, going further into the competition, I expect this to play way better for sure. But in general, the main important thing is that we got the dub. Things we could definitely improve on. Definitely saw some players. I'm like, all right, why are they not getting a little bit more burn, right? That's what I'm saying. But overall, not too upset about the game in general. But yeah, Barcelona get the dub today against Guadalajara. Goes from Andres Christensen and Marcus Rashford. But before we get into the game, disgrace. It's a fucking disgrace. Rafinha didn't make the best FIFA Men's 11. Cole Palmer. Jude Bellingham over Rafinha. All right, that's all I can say about that. We'll talk about that in a different day, but man, that is man, I don't even want to curse, but that is a complete disgrace. I cannot believe that, bro. I genuinely couldn't believe it, man. But hey, we'll talk about that in a different day. But going over the lineup that Hansi Flick decided to go for today, Mark Ter Stegen in goal. Backline of Casado, Eric Garcia, Christensen, and Joffre. Midfielder Bernal, Lamine Yamal, and Frankie de Jong. And up top, Rooney, Rashford, and the main man, Fermin Lopez. All right, pretty interesting lineup from Barcelona. I think the main ones were definitely the likes of Casado playing as a right back. When I saw the lineup, I'm like, what's happening here? Is Bernal going to go into the center back? Is Casado going to the right back? And in general, it was Casado going into the right back. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen was definitely another shocker, because a lot of news was coming out before the game. Szczesny going to start. But Hansi Flick decided to go for Marc-Andre Ter Stegen for this match. And pretty solid performance overall from him. I mean, we're going against a third division team, so I expect him to have a solid performance. But besides that, most of the team speaks for itself. You know, resting the likes of Pedri, resting the likes of Rafinha. A lot of people were, before the game, were complaining as to why we didn't rest the likes of Lamine Yamal. And I thought for this game, we saw why we didn't rest him, why he was a key figure for us to try and get something from this game. It wasn't like he was, he didn't score a goal or anything. He got an assist towards the end of the game. But you guys saw that number 10 role, man, how just it fits him so well, and how he causes problem, how he wins us fouls. And we saw a lot of that in the first half, where the first half, I'll give credit to Guadalajara, they just fought very well throughout the whole match in general, defended very well. A lot of numbers in the back where it made it difficult for us to really break them down and create many chances. A lot of our chances came from crosses. A lot of chances, came from Lamine Yamal working his magic at times. But that first half was definitely a hard watch just because of how defensive Guadalajara were playing. They really didn't cause danger much to us going forward on counterattacks. They attempted, but we did pretty well in recovering the ball anytime we lost it. So I'll give us credit for that. But that first half was definitely difficult. But the main guy from that first half was definitely the likes of Lamine Yamal, who in those tight spaces we see how quickly he dribbles and how quickly he just maneuvers to create something for us. And again, the fouls that he won in this match to potentially help us go into the lead. But again, the main thing we've been seeing for a time now from Barcelona is that we have no free kick takers, bro. These free kick takers are disgusting, bro. I hate it, man. I don't get it why we're so bad at free kicks. I see how they do it in practice, how they score bangers in practice, and then I see them in games, and they absolutely waste them. How many free kicks we have from the edge of the box, from close areas to score in this game to all right, this is the goal we have to get because they're playing so defensive. But no, we waste them. We take shit shots. I'm like, bro, can these guys finally for once score a free kick, man? I'm getting frustrated at this point with how wasteful we are with set pieces. But overall, that first half was well contended from Guadalajara. Gave us a lot of problems. Second half, I would say Guadalajara definitely came at us with a bit more confidence. Obviously, getting that confidence going first half, not conceding, and then going to second half thinking, okay, maybe we can get something from this game. I thought in the second half they definitely went at us a little bit more, played a lot more confident. We made some changes, bringing in Balde pretty early, bringing Casado back into the right back, into the center mid position, then Eric Garcia into the right back. Cubarsí comes in for Bernal. Going into the classic setup that Barcelona, should be going with most of the time because Casado is a right back. Didn't really impress me. I didn't really see much from him. I thought he was pretty much non-existent. Joffrey did pretty decent. I didn't think he was too bad. He definitely shows that he at least has the level above these Guadalajara players at least, but not bad. Not a bad cameo from him in general. But overall in that second half, we attempted again. It was just a lot of crossing because it was difficult. It was difficult definitely to break them down until a beautiful cross into the box from Frankie de Jong for Christensen to get a header on it. A little bit of deflection, but it brings us up 1-0. I think it was around the 77th minute, 76th minute to bring us up 1-0 and finally break the deadlock. Thankfully, man. But for some reason, after we scored, Barcelona, I guess, just got, I don't know, comfortable. I don't know why. And Guadalajara started attacking us at times where they created some dangerous chances. I'm like, bro, what are we doing? Are we serious right now? We scored finally after having such a difficult match, and we wouldn't just throw it away like this, just fall asleep. It was embarrassing. I hated that part for sure. But I don't know why we tend to do that. I guess we just tend to underestimate these teams and just like, all right, we're good now. We scored. We got this dub now. No, that's unacceptable. We always have to go into every single game, no matter what team we're playing, no matter what division the other team's in, to kill them, destroy them, embarrass them. Not just get complacent, all right? Please, Hansi Flick, instill that in these players because I don't understand how we just completely shut down a bit after we score a goal. Like, we just get comfortable. It's unacceptable. But Guadalajara definitely started to attack us a little bit more. But thankfully, towards the end of the match, we also get the second goal for Marcus Rashford from a beautiful pass from Lamine Yamal. He goes around, Marcus Rashford goes around the goalkeeper and bangs it in for the 2-0 and basically to secure the win. All right, again, a well-fought-off battle from Barcelona and Guadalajara. Again, Guadalajara just did what they had to do to try and get something for this match. We're seeing teams in La Liga do this against us. Of course, Guadalajara is going to go with the same game plan to try and get something from us since we played the high line, since, in counterattacks we're vulnerable at times, and we saw it at times where they did cause some problems with that. So props to Guadalajara overall. I mean, against a third division team, you would expect Barcelona just to play them at the park and score 5 to 6 goals, but that was just not the case today. Guadalajara put up a well-fought battle, and again, props to them. And their stadium, man, their stadium throughout the whole game, incredible fan base right there, bro. They were definitely roaring throughout the game. I, at one point in my life, would want to definitely go to Guadalajara, wherever they play, wherever they're stationed at, and go watch a game there because, man, their fans were incredible, man. Got to give them props for that. Even when we scored, you just heard the fans even roaring over ours, and I mean, of course, because they're the home team, but still, man, props to them, man. Props to Guadalajara. I wish them success in the future in whatever the respective league that they're in. But in general, Barcelona get the dub. We're through to the next round. But going over individuals, Ter Stegen, decent. Had to make some saves at times, but nothing major because Guadalajara didn't really create too many dangerous opportunities. So pretty standard match for Ter Stegen to come back into the team, get some minutes in. Hansi Flick after the game said that it was just for this one game that Ter Stegen was going to play. And then now I think Szczesny going to go back to the second choice goalkeeper. We'll see. But not terrible from Ter Stegen. Casado as a right back, I didn't enjoy him at all. I thought he was non-existent at times. Obviously, just doesn't fit that role for him. We saw Hansi Flick say himself that the best role for Casado is in either an 8 or a 6. And then he decides to play him as a right back. All right, second half did a bit decently. It looked a bit more influential going back into the midfield, but Eder Garcia and Christensen, the pairing, I thought were pretty solid today. Obviously we know what Eder Garcia has been throughout this whole season. Incredible. And Anders Christensen, I thought was definitely had a great performance today. And we'll talk about him in a little bit. Joffre, again, he showed confidence. The little minutes that he's getting, he's taking advantage of and showing that, all right, he's up for the occasion, that he is getting nervous under pressure. Of course, going up against the third division side, you would expect him to step up in these occasions. And he did pretty well today. Definitely something to see for the future and maybe get some more rotations for him to come in and get more minutes. Frenkie de Jong, Bernal, and Lamine Yamal in the midfield. Bernal, I thought looked pretty good today. Obviously we want to slowly incorporate him back into the team and get those minutes in so we can get back to that rhythm and potentially be a full-on starter for Barcelona. Who knows? We'll see. A lot of debate recently of Eder Garcia should play there instead of Frenkie. A lot of debate's been going on because we know Pedri's one of the main guys in the double pivot. But Bernal definitely has something to say later in the future. But pretty decent performance for Bernal. I actually liked how he performed today. Frenkie de Jong made some dangerous crosses, effective a bit going forward. Not as much as we'd expect them to be at times, but again, the way that they were defending like crazy, you can't expect a lot more, but pretty decent performance from Frenkie de Jong. Fermin on the left-hand side, I don't really like him on the left, man. I don't think he's too influential, but again, what we saw from the way that Guadalajara set up today, I think it would have been worse if Fermin played through the middle because of how congested they were in the middle and how they were just so packed up, like Fermin wouldn't have space, and we know Fermin is more dangerous when he has space. That's why Hansi Flick wanted to play him out wide, where he would have a little bit more space to make a dangerous cross or maybe get a shot on, right? But not too bad, but I want to say the greatest performance. Rooney tried and attempted. Wouldn't say it was amazing from him either, but at least he tried. He tried to create some threat with the way that Guadalajara were playing. It was all right. Marcus Rashford, pretty good game today from him. Made some dangerous runs, got into the right areas in the box to potentially get a goal for us, and obviously in the end gets a goal for us. But again, these are the difficult matches where it's hard to rate these players because they're going up against the defensive side where you're not going to see a lot of open play. You're not going to see a lot of magic that these players could potentially make with more open sides, right? Sides who come at us with a lot more pressure, right? Guadalajara were for the most time absorbing pressure, right? So pretty good match from Marcus Rashford. And Lamine Yamal, I thought was definitely one of the standouts today. Again, in that first half, how dangerous he is playing the number 10 in those tight spaces, how he just gets through people easily. Again, won a lot of fouls. And we saw that he was the main target for Guadalajara. They were like, all right, when he gets the ball, tackle him, bring him down. Just don't let him do his magic. Don't let him do his thing. And we saw how many times he got fouled in this game. Second half, slowed down a little bit. But of course, gets the assist towards the end. But I thought pretty good match in general from Lamine Yamal. But the main standouts for me, Anders Christensen, bro. Anders Christensen, man. Look at this. This is what you get from an Anders Christensen. And again, it begs the question to ask, why is Christensen not being used more? Why Hansi Flick opted to go for the likes of Gerard Martin over the likes of Anders Christensen. And I'm not saying this to bash Gerard Martin or think that he's a bad player or anything, because he's been doing very well playing the position that Hansi Flick has tasked him to play. But it's also like we have such a beast like the likes of Anders Christensen. Of course, trying to take merit from a game like this where you're like, it's a third division team, right? Obviously, trying to take merit from that, it's not the best case, right? But it's in general, we've seen the best in Christensen in many top games in the past before, right? So hopefully he gets used more. I'd still like to see the likes of Christensen play as one of our main center backs. Hopefully we get the opportunity. Again, Gerard Martin has been doing great, but I think Christensen should get a lot more burn than he has been in the past. And the other player I wanted to emphasize was the likes of Marc Bernal today. Again, we're seeing that. Oh, my bad. Marc Bernal, again, we're seeing slowly how he's incorporating his time to the team. Hansi Flick is obviously playing it safe with him, doesn't want to risk him. smart move, 100%. But I definitely want to see a lot more from him, bro. I want to see a lot more from him because the confidence he has in the ball, how much technique he has at all in general too. And then that little nutmeg he made in the game as well. The confidence he has coming into these games, man. I just want to see it more. And the better he's only going to get better with more burn that he gets, with more minutes that he gets, right? So I'm definitely excited to see what the future holds for the likes of Marc Bernal, and obviously what position he can take later in the future. Maybe a starting position and a permanent starting position, and be like, yo, Frankie, Eddie Garcia, sorry, this is my spot. We'll see. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from Marc Bernal this season. But yeah, guys, that was the video for today. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about the game. Who was your man of the match? My man of the match, either Christensen or Lamine Yamal. I thought they were great today. And let me know again what you guys thought about the game, how you guys felt about Guadalajara's performance today, and their fans. Let me know what you guys thought about their fans. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for everything on me. I'll share your friends love football. See you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Much love, take care, and peace.